What's up, YouTube? Anybody here? Well, YouTube, let me give you a minute. What's up? Girl, I'm out here trying to make it. Woman, can't you see? I'm gotta make it for you. I'm trying to make it for me. Sometimes it seems that I'm neglecting you. I love to spend more time, but I got so many things to do. Oh, I got work to do. Said I got a job, baby. Said I got work to do, work. Hello, heartstrings. Mocha drop. Well, it's finally come to a head, people. Good morning, everybody. It's finally come to a head. Over this last year, they've been hinting about the corruption of Mayor Adams, correct, in New York City. I got to tell you, this is anticlimactic to me. I see that all these people have left his administration under a cloud of suspicion. And when they made their big announcement today in New York, who was that? I forget the guy's post. Anyway, when they announced what they're charging Mayor Adams with, and it seems like this comes to upgrades on airlines, I think this sounds stupid to me. Right? Now, probably all these politicians are guilty on that level. Why would the mayor of New York City be sitting in the back of the airplane? So they're calling, that's the big bribe. Now, it would be different to me. What I expected was there's going to be some huge scandal where Mayor Adams has collected $5 million from this one and $10 million from that one and gold bars from this one. And that's what I call corruption, correct? The other issue, other charges, a lot of this is around airline tickets, correct? Not even giving them airline upgrades on airline tickets, correct? Now, perhaps he did do wrong by trying to cover up that he had gotten these upgrades. But what's the upgrade on the airline, honey? God damn. All right, so they made him sound like this huge villain. I expected there to be dead bodies or something earth-shattering. This it's not earth-shattering. The other issue is campaign finance. So they're saying that Turkey and some of the other countries helped him to become the mayor by giving him campaign contributions. Now, since this thing, they're talking about airline upgrades and all that, they're going to have to be a lot more clear to me. When you say illegal campaign contributions from Turkey, are we talking about $1,200? Are we talking about 12 million or 100 million? Right? So far, all we seem to get from all Turkey is getting is for the fire department to pass their building without the proper inspection. Correct? So there is some trickery here. They do seem to be after this man. It just pains me because I hate to see all these black people falling. Seems like anytime they get ahead any goddamn where they got these big investigations. Now, they've been investigating this dude for well, for what we know, all over a year. New Yorkers will know a lot more about this, but at least a year since Bishop Whitehead started talking about how they were investigating him. We became aware of it last year. And this is what they came up with. This man has not bought himself a new Mercedes. He ain't sent no money overseas. So far as we know, there is a lot of that, what you call that, nepotism in his administration. I personally believe that when you're representing a city like New York City, which is basically almost as big as a country, as far as 30 million people in New York City on any given day. During the week, a lot of those people are commuting, but there are 30 million people there, correct? I don't know that I would in there hiring my relatives If I became the mayor, I don't think I would have only all black people on in my administration. I'm representing the entire city, correct? They had many of these posts that people have abandoned now, where the two brothers and a sister and the wife, they are all in his administration. Old friends that were not even qualified for the jobs. That was a mistake, in my opinion. Should have went in there and hired a variety of people. He said he wanted to hire, although it seems like he did a lot of good things in that city as well. I'm sure there's so much work that has to be done on a daily basis in New York City. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Does you sound like this dude is being targeted? Unless they have more. Now, why would the y'all got to help me? It's early. What's the guy who announces what the charges are? Is he what is he? The black guy who just came after Diddy. What's his position? Let me see. I know y'all know. Anyway. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, that's him. Let's just see what's going on here. I just had him pulled up. The indictment is unsealed. The U.S. attorney. Okay. So this is going to become more is going to be coming out. I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit, and I'm the first one to say, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, don't talk. However, this is the top story. And as far as the way they're rolling it out, it does seem like this guy has been targeted. They're coming after him. I don't know why they don't want him in office, but it is very strange that all these people are resigning and so forth because he got to upgrade on the airline ticket or tickets. I don't know what the hell he's doing over there in Turkey so much, but they're going to have to explain more about that. What is the real relationship between him and Turkey? Why is he flying over there so much? Why are all of his trips going through Turkey? I don't think it's just to save him the inconvenience of stopping over in another country. For some reason, he's going through Turkey for all this stuff. So there's got to be a better connection than that. But unless they can prove that he's actually benefiting from this thing personally, I would just say this is just political bullshit. And I very seriously doubt, well, Trump and them people, they got so much money, they ride around in their own jets, correct? But how do other politicians ride? When I go and get on United Airlines, are the mayor and the governor, are they in the back of the bus? There's going to be more to this. There's got to be. But by him, though, coming out and making that announcement, usually he tells you what the charges are. If they're going to charge him with something else, wouldn't they tell you right then? Go and take his phone, publicly humiliate this dude, going through his house, going through all of his administration, searching all of them, taking their phones, taking their computers. I just expected more. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. Y'all don't agree with me. He was getting money too, right? He was getting money. That's what's not clear, TLC and 3. So far, they haven't showed him getting any personal money for himself. What they showed is that he's getting upgrades on airlines. They just moved him to the front of the train. I mean, if you had a dignitary or a public official coming into your country, I mean, wouldn't you say, listen, yeah, move him to the front? I don't know that that's a big deal, but apparently it is illegal. Giving him upgrade on the airline is illegal because they take that, they see it as a gift, some gift, right? So it looks like they're going to railroad this dude. There's been many more accusations about his administration. I guess that goes along with the job, you know. But that's a huge city, honey. That requires a more work than most of us can imagine. You have to group about 20 of these small towns together in order to even make a New York City, or even maybe 50 of them to make a New York City. So it is a major position. And I just think it's sad that it seems like every time these black people get over a certain level, they seem to be indicted for something. So this may end up with him losing his job. I think he has one more year to be the mayor, and then he has to run again. He won't be successful running again, obviously. But I don't think this rises to him being put in jail or anything like that, unless there's a lot more to be uncovered. It seemed like to me they had a whole year of investigation. I think they started investigating him right around the time he took office, though. They should have had more than this. That just seems so silly to me about this airline thing. I don't even know why they even brought it up. They should stick with illegal campaign contributions from foreign countries and from businesses. I guess they're only allowed to give a certain amount of money. Foreign people can't give any money. So that's breaking a rule. But I would like to know how much money we're talking here. The Turkish government wants to build a building in New York City, and they need a pass on the fire inspection. And this is the big scandal, a fire inspection, right? He leaned on the fire department. So now they didn't resign. Every day is some more shit. Now they discovered that he's been getting money for himself or his family. He's been hiding money or something like that. Or people, he's been bribing people. He's accepting bribes. Then that would be something different. I would say, yeah, lock him up. If that were the case, they don't seem to have any evidence that's the case at all. He just did it in Airline, and then even if they were donating to his election, that doesn't go in his pocket. That's just to make ads and stuff, right? And if they investigate, okay, so how pure and honest and clean is Donald Trump? Why ain't they investigate his ass? The crookedest man known to American politics. Y'all can't find nothing on Donald Trump? Please. He got 34 felonies, child. And a whole host of charges, even before they got to the felonies. So TLCN3, I think the answer was he's been getting money for his campaigns from not only Turkey, from other countries as well. You're not supposed to take money, apparently, from foreign people, although it's strongly suspected that Trump got a whole lot of money out of Russia for his campaign, correct? I don't know if I would call that a corrupt politician. I just don't buy it. Now, of course, I'm not I don't follow this stuff, these politics and this legal ramifications. You know, their laws are their laws. It doesn't seem like this is something that would put the man in jail, though. So it's all over the place. There are 100 different people. Matter of fact, the case seems to be changing every few minutes. So you guys might want to follow that. One of the upgrades was 12K. One of the upgrades, so you're sitting in the middle of the plane, and so you get to go behind the green door and sit up front. That's $12,000. Why is he flying all over the world anyway if he's running New York City? So they'll have to bring more out. Yeah, they had all the numbers and everything, but when you think of the big picture, Mocha Drop, I don't know, none of it amounted to a hill of beans. Not really. Plane upgrades. It ain't like he went out and bought him a jet. This is what kind of scandals we deal with today. So all the works that this man has performed, all the good works he's performed in New York City, he had a career in law enforcement long before he became mayor. But all of that means not, because he took Airline, he moved to a better seat. Whatever. If there were illegal campaign contributions, I would think that the Turkish government, if they had given him millions of dollars to become the mayor, I think that they would want a little bit better than a pass on the fire inspection. It ain't like they're trying to burn the damn place down, right? Correct. I'm just saying. So what's the big scandal? And how much did they give him? An illegal campaign contribution, since it's coming from another country, it could have been $800. right? They're not telling us that. Oh, this is at a time when these politicians are raising millions and millions and millions of dollars per day. Do we know where every contribution is coming from? They say they have these shell things where they can hide where the money's coming from. Correct? Isn't it the way politics basically works? They give money and hope that you're going to be easy on them. I kind of feel for this dude. I know people have been after him since we first heard about it with Whitehead, right? And he was trying to use him for all he could use him for, and he was intimating that the Fed were after Mayor Adams. I mean, he is the mayor, but this international investigation. I wonder how much the international investigation was. That worth more than $1,200? Who's paying for the fuel in Donald Trump's jets is what I'm wondering. Those jets to run cost a lot more than a plane ticket, honey. Trump was. Well, he's vowed he's going to fight this. I saw his people rallying. I didn't watch all of the of his reply, but he's suggesting that he's been targeted, and it does appear that there's certainly that element in there. They need to come up with a whole lot better. And if the Turkish government was trying to influence something in New York City, then they need to make that plain as well. Because as far as we can see, they're the one building the building. The building's going to cost that? That's $1 billion. And you're worried about the fire inspection. Apparently, only reason they want the fire inspection speeded up is because they have some dignitary or their leader coming here, and we want everything to be right when he gets here. How would they know all that before he's even the mayor? In order for them to give Adams these huge donations for him to be mayor, how would they know that they were going to need this fire inspection help after he became the mayor? There's got to be more to that. I am a New Yorker, and Uncle Tim, this is ridiculous. I believe he's being targeted. That's right. It is ridiculous. Unless they got something more than that, he should have been embarrassed to go up here and read that shit, the state's attorney. I mean, has the man been a good mayor? Oh, he said stop and frisk. Have you watched what's going on the damn subways in New York City? What's he supposed to do? It's okay, guys. It's okay. Just let it work itself out. This is the same thing that Jesse Jackson Jr. went to jail for. Was it illegal campaign contributions? Yeah, I don't understand those laws and so forth. It seems pretty clear cut. But I'm sure if he knew he was going to bring all this on him, he could say, well, I can sit here. What difference does it make? Just bring me a drink, Illegal campaign. That's what they're investigating. Now, I don't know that they have other investigations as well. Apparently, I mean, it's his government basically in New York. So I don't know if the police were investigating him or anything. The main thing is the Fed, because usually when the Fed comes, then they give a 97% a conviction rate. So are they going to convict him of this? I don't know. I don't want the man to lose. If he's a decent person, if he's doing a good job, and if he's not stealing money to put in his own pockets, right? I wouldn't get excited about him losing. And I don't even particularly like cops, to tell you the truth. But they have to exist, honey. We can't make it. We can't govern our own selves. So it's an honorable profession that led him into I think he was a borough president in Brooklyn first. And he did such a good job as the borough president that they ran him for mayor and he won. right? So I'm sure by the end of the day, we'll be hearing more about why they're after him and who else is after him and who are his political enemies, right? Who's motivating these? Are Republicans motivating these investigations? They want to investigate everybody. They want to throw Biden in jail. Investigate him. Put him in jail. I am a New Yorker and I have experienced some stop and frisk this past year, but I also think these charges are flimsy. Yeah, the charges are bullshit to me, but now the stop and frisk issue, I didn't follow the issue. I'm not a New Yorker. I'm on the opposite coast. But at the same time, people were getting murdered on the goddamn subways. You have to expect him to do something. He is a cop or was a cop, right? So it was inconvenient. We're sorry, but we would rather you feel safe to go to work. What I would think. Of course, some people who are innocent will get stopped and frisked when you have that kind of thing. It was a big controversy because the way black people were targeted before, right? And it's still targeted on freeways and so forth for a tail light busted or whatever. But if you have a crisis in your city, you damn well better do something about it. Adams seems to think because he made a stink about the situation with the influx of immigrants in New York City and the federal government's refusal to help in any way. He said he needed $1 billion. He said this is why he's targeted. Now I don't know the details. We have to follow this thing. It's just I wasn't even paying attention to their politics until last night, so we'll have to see. To be extra careful if you're a person of color. Mm-hmm. We got to shine brighter than anyone else, right? Somehow Obama managed to make it all the way through with no scandals at all, right? You got Donald Trump. He had a scandal every other week. He got impeached twice. He had 100 different people coming at him for civil matters since he got out of office and when he was in office, child. Correct? He got convicted 34 times. All this shit, and he's still running his ass for the president of the United States. Y'all see my shirt? Harris Walls, 24. Thank you, Elaine. It's getting close, baby. Y'all heard that billionaire Mark Cuban telling you how stupid Donald Trump is and how he's not able to communicate anything. He just throws out ideas, stuff to get the goddamn crowd excited. Then everybody else got to go and explain this is what he meant. Why can't he say what he meant? I saw Kamala Harris on who was with Diane Sawyer. Who was Kamala just interviewing with? Anyway, she laid it out in detail. Her plan. Oh, I don't know enough. How much more you need to know? God damn. Do you know anything about Donald Trump? Ask some of his rape victims. Ask his own nieces and nephews. Ask them about Donald Trump. You know enough about him? Hell, he can't even. If you try to make sense of that shit he talks, child, it's just nothing. Just for campaign, it's like he's a comedian or something, right? But yeah, she got to come out with every single goddamn dot I dotted and T crossed. You want to know more and more and more. And Republicans, it will never be enough, honey. Never. And we got to go in there and be squeaky clean when they can go and do whatever the fuck they want to do. Jesse, you don't like Eric Adams? Are you a New Yorker? The strength of Black Lives Matter. Well, they all got enemies. I mean, I don't, That's a big ass responsibility, though, in New York City, honey. Just seems strange to me they be coming for him for something like that. Especially the upgrade. Upgrade. I don't know why the upgrade thing really bothers the shit out of me. Oh, you stayed at the nice hotel. Mm. So what did you do, Trump? When the people come to these dignitaries came to visit you, what did you do? Did you put them up in your own hotel in Washington, D.C.? How much did they pay? You put them up in Mar-a-Lago? He run off the strength of Black Lives Matter. Well, our lives do matter. And obviously there's a big population of black people there because his whole administration seems to be black people. I think that's a mistake, though. I think that's always a mistake. When you see Kamala Harris's administration, it's going to be all kind of people. That's diversity. Don't just come in there and put all your cousins in office and then all your cousins' friends in office, right? And then you got 3 brothers all in the same family. They're all in office. Everybody's black, That might have caused some resentment, like it turned into us against them kind of thing. But he says it's the Fed that came after him. We are glad he had enough sense to separate himself from Bishop Whitehead. Bishop. Has he spoken out from the prison gates? Have y'all heard from him? Apparently, a lot of these prisoners are making statements from prison. The Menendez. Oh, let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell you a story about a man named Jed, poor mountaineer, bred to keep his family fed. Then one day he was shooting at some coon, and up to the ground come a bubbling crew. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's millionaire. Then folks said, Jed, move away from there. They said, California is the place you ought to be. And he rolled up the truck and he moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools. No, that's not the right story. That ain't the story I'm going to tell you. You ready, Goonies? I told it before a few years ago. But they're all talking about this story on Netflix. The Menendez brothers, right? Eric and Lyle Menendez. They're telling, there's been several movies made of their story, but now there's a new series on Netflix by Ryan Murphy. Correct. Some people, it's #1 on their app right now. Anyway, there's a scene in I think it's the first or second video, and they show them coming to court, and they have on these Armani suits. They're coming to court. I was there that day. I was with Eric Menendez. Actually, both of them were on the same bus. We were in the big jail downtown Los Angeles, right? This crime had just happened. And we were all 3 of us were on the same bus. Since I was a homosexual in the bright orange, they used to put us in bright orange, and everybody else would be in blue, or however the colors were. I don't remember exactly. I know I was in bright orange. And they were in bright orange because they were in protective custody. They had one-on-ones in the front cage. We had separate cages. I think there were 6 cages in front of the bus. This is a jail bus that takes you from downtown Los Angeles to the Beverly Hills. You go to court in Beverly Hills, but they don't have huge holding cells there, right? And the guys in the back of the bus do what they always do. They terrorize the people who are in bright orange, right? So they were hollering, "You faggot motherfucker, you," all this kind of shit, right? But I'm used to this. This is the LA County jail. Grotesquely overcrowded jail, right? And all the hoodlums and gangbangers is on there and shit, right? So they fuck with me first because I was in this bright orange and my cage was right back in front of them. And then this guy who's in front of me in the cage under me, he turns around and says, "Oh, don't let them get you down, dude. They don't know." And then when he said that to me, the African American youngsters in the back hollered out, "Hey, yes, that motherfucker! Did you kill your mom? Did you blow your mom's head off?" All this whole shit, right? So I had actually had a moment with Eric Menendez, and he was a sensitive person. Because why would he gives a fuck because I'm getting called the F word, correct? And in the holding cell in the front, they had these suits. These Armani suits, right? Because they were going to go into court with the suit. I said, "Oh my God, I was there that day. I was there that exact same day." Is that interesting? I always felt sorry for them people. They had to be insane. They saw a goddamn movie of people. What was it? Uh, billionaires, a boy club or something. And they got the idea right then they were going to blow their parents away. Well, the story is interesting. It's done by Ryan Murphy, and people are saying, of course, he gayicizes everything. But as far as I know, Eric was a homosexual person. He was young, still in the closet and all that. But Ryan Murphy has it appearing that maybe there was something sexual going on between the two brothers. They both denied this. They found a way to communicate from prison. Then this was bullshit. I don't think that means that everything was bullshit. I think maybe that issue, they're trying to dramatize things, and perhaps they put that in. Let me see. He was fine too as a youngster. Fucking murderer. They still in jail. Ooh. I voted to Eric Adams. They could have kept de Blasio. Oh, was it term limit? Was it term limits? I forget. Well, they have term limits. Well, I don't know. How long can a mayor be mayor? It sounds like it's going to be over for Adams, though. They're not going to all rally behind him. Even though I don't think that these crimes he's accused of seem all that serious to me. Maybe they do mean something in politics, right? Now, if the Turkish government was giving him millions of dollars, then I think it would be for a reason more than getting permits for a fire inspection, right? That's the kind of thing they slide him a couple $100 in. And how would they even know they would have need of that months, if not years, before he's even in office? They're accused of helping to put him in office. But they could say that. They could say that, oh, they got businessmen giving you much money. But if you go through, I mean, in detail, there are probably a lot of people who are giving money who shouldn't have been given money. We're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, Jeff. Probably nearly as much for New York City. Whatever. They are burdened by having to raise money. So I don't want to see the brother go down. He's not no Diddy or anything. He's not seeking all his own pleasure. It sounds like he's mostly just working. Itzy, yep. They always move the goalposts back for some and closer for others. Absolutely. You know good and damn well Donald Trump has not been above board. He's over here footsying with Putin, of all people. Of course, he denies they had to investigate that, right? Didn't they have to investigate Trump? Wasn't that a big investigation, child? Yet everything always ends up a zero with him. I don't even know how you could have a person going back and forth to court, fighting cases and shit while they're running for president. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, Safeway. Mm-hmm. Trump is the fish they need to catch. Exactly. They need to focus their efforts on Donald Trump. There's your threat, honey. That's the one making deals with the goddamn foreign dictators and still kissing their ass. Even to this day, still kissing their ass. Every monster we know in the goddamn world, he friendly with it. I just make a phone call. I said, Putin, knock that stuff off. And he said, okay, because it's you, Donald Trump. Because it's you. They let him get away with that. It's unfortunate that some of these rich people all they care about is the damn taxes, because they don't pay taxes. I mean, when they say 25%, if you say 25, 6% to a billionaire, child, he's all about, you want him to write him a check for, $250 million, girl. So we understand why they are just holding their nose and vote for him. But all these poor people, that's the ones he zeroed in on. That's why he keeps focusing on nothing but hateful rhetoric to separate people, right? Now the goddamn people in Springfield, Ohio, are the great Satan. And he's why would you promise I'm gonna go over there and kick him in the ass? Get out of our country! Get out of our bitch! Go to your great grandmama and tell her to get out of our country, and then you will have to put up with your ass. Mm-hmm. But yet, when the Indian told us to get, or the rest of y'all to get out of their country, they were wrong. You had to kill them and slaughter them, right? Wasn't they saying the same thing? Leave us alone, get out of our country. De Blasio. I'm gonna go to New York. That's gonna be on my bucket list. I gotta go back to New York City. I only went once. Me and my partner, we went there. We only made it a month. We were still doing all that drinking and drugging and things, child. And we went through all our money in the first month. But it'd be nice to take a trip there. I was waiting on me to meet a husband first, or somebody I can go and say, look at that, baby. Look at that. But since he don't seem to be coming, I may have to go by myself. Mm-hmm. Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. I'll do my best to make him stay. We'll build a little home just meant for two, from which I'll never roam. Where you at? God damn it, taking you a long time to get here, buddy. Taking you, the last one was 35 years ago, baby. Nice haircut. Yeah, I finally got out there. Took me 3 days to get out the house to go get my haircut. It ain't but 5 minutes down the street. I kept getting sidetracked, honey. Mm-hmm. I've been to New York City 5 times. Go to Harlem. That's the best part. Okay. I heard Harlem has had some, it's been somewhat, what's the word? Oh, here we go. Gentrified. Harlem. Bill Clinton lives in Harlem, right? But I see that they have some beautiful architecture in Harlem. I watch a lot of design shows and real estate shows, and they got a lot of beautiful architecture in Harlem, New York City. So yeah, that would definitely be one of the stops, honey. Pop Daddy said rich people don't pay taxes. Pop Daddy? Who is Pop Daddy? Is he related to Puff Daddy? Poor people do. And I have, wait a minute. That's what Donald Trump said too. He said he's smart. I didn't pay the taxes. Isn't that a bitch? And you want to come here and tell everybody else how they supposed to pay it? They fall for that shit. Now, what they should be emphasizing on is how stupid he is and how hard it is to follow one of his goddamn rallies or one of his speeches. If the shit ain't even making no sense, they got to come in there and bring the damn Republicans in. Fox News to come in to try to make that make sense. Make it make sense. No offense, make it make sense, the channel. Yep, Brooklyn is a bit gentrified too. That's what I heard, honey. They got to keep moving further out. But Brooklyn seems nice. Mm-hmm. Same thing here, Now they got this place called Treasure Island. That's where Gamage used to live. Treasure Island sits right off of, it's 10 minutes over the bridge to Treasure Island. It's between San Francisco and Oakland. But I passed by there. It took them years and years and years to clear up because it used to be like an army base. Army or Navy, don't hold me to it. And there was radiation in the water. So now they took them years to clear that out. And now there's condominiums popping up all over Treasure Island. Where used to be barracks for enlisted men or whatever. They're tearing all that down and putting up new condominiums, right? Because San Francisco is just so unaffordable. Now they're gonna have a whole nother city, essentially, small city, an island. But it's even getting expensive in Oakland. And I'm so happy that Oakland is doing a whole lot of construction over there as well. So people have had to move away from the city. San Francisco, a lot of these people, these homeowners, they just don't want to see the city turn into high rises. But it seems like that's what you have to do to accommodate these big populations. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the further they go out, then it starts getting more expensive there too. Then they go further out and it's more expensive there too. So people is commuting for fucking 2 hours to go to work. Y'all got to find me a man. Mm-hmm. I want muscles all over his body. Listen, I don't care if he's young or old, just as long as he's beautiful. I just need someone I can hold on to. Baby. I don't want him to have so much muscles that he's intimidating, though. I don't like that. What you say? No, ain't gonna be none of that. I ain't gonna be manhandling thing. Mm-hmm. Well, at some point you realize, y'all, it's not a specifically gay or straight or whatever. You realize that, honey, more than likely that's not gonna happen. So you just have to be satisfied and be grateful to God that you at least experience love in your life. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Right? A lot of times you're gonna have to accept that, well, this happened in the background. This happened in my past. And I wish I would have tried it harder to make it work because I had no idea that that was the last time it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was madly in love in my younger life with one man. Mm-hmm. And then he changed. He was not the man I once knew. No need to tell him that we're through. He broke my heart. He changed. No, he didn't. He died. Couldn't help that one. No one wants to live in small cities. Well, you get cheaper rent. I moved from my hometown. What is it? Saginaw, Minnesota. Is it Saginaw, Minnesota? Saginaw. 5 years ago. And I'll never live in a small town again. I understand, bro. I left Indiana 40-some years ago. I barely been back. That's what happens in a lot of small towns, honey. People, guess what happened in Springfield? People get to be old enough, and they leave. That's why the town was dying. Correct? What's going on, St. James? Trying to get thrown across the room. Ooh, arguing and things. Where my phone? Where my phone? No, it got to be a good relationship if you're with somebody, honey. I ain't going through no more dramas. Plus, and you get old, you get set and how you do things. You lived alone by yourself, for most of your life, really. It's hard to adjust now in your 60s to somebody else being there. It's different when you grow together. You become, the two have become as one, as the Bible says. But trying to meet them, and you're both in your 60s, both cranky, you both fart, it's just difficult. Turn it. That's my channel. I was watching that. Nobody wants to watch that old silly ass shit. So you have to really be in love. Mm-hmm. No, I ain't never liked no big muscle man, honey. No, it's just not physically attractive to me when you get to be too huge. Y'all want to make love with Walter Lee Hampton? Mm-mm. I think them guys, they just rub butt baby oil on themselves. Oh, maybe that's what P. Diddy thing was. He wanted them to rub that baby oil on the muscles. Glistening. Y'all know what my theory was. He had all that baby oil because it was ashy, honey. They were dehydrated from doing all them drugs. And then when he wants to film them all, he don't want his films to be having all these ashy ankles and knees and things, child. Now they're saying that the baby oil was drugged. Diddy, they ain't gonna let you out, man. Somebody was saying though, I think it was Breakfast Club, that as far as all of these civil suits, they may as well stop because at least he said he don't believe there's any money left. If he has to pay all these people that he has to pay and all these attorneys he has to pay, because the attorneys gonna get theirs. They're smart enough to know they better get theirs now. Ain't gonna be nothing left. Plus, he's not making any money. He hasn't been making any money since this shit started, right? So if you're going to follow Cassie was the smart one, she wouldn't have got hers first. She got it off the top, and it still ended up with the same results. I'm not living with no damn French Indian with 50 inches of snow and no black people. Oh, they were French Indians? Where you live, Jesse? Yeah, it's hard to go back though, man. It is. If you lived in the big city around a lot of people and stuff forth, it's very difficult to go back. When I go back to Indiana, all I see is suburbs and a bunch of relatives that I don't even know. Now they're into these would be great, not even nieces and nephews, which I was missing for most of their lives. But now they're great people. I have no idea who they are even. And then they live so far apart. It's like an hour to go see this one, an hour over there, and grandma's gone, and uncles are gone, aunties are gone. There's no reason for me to go back to Indiana. I'm going back to Indiana because that is where I started from. I'm going back to Indiana because that is where my baby's from. Y'all remember that? Jackson 5, baby. Ain't nobody living in Indiana. And somehow everybody dies, though. Lord, have mercy. No matter how grand and wonderful their life was, they still get old, honey. And at some point, that day's going to come. Right? Puff Daddy lost his most lucrative business investments and partnerships already. Sad, some victims will never get paid. That's right. Cassie, she did that, baby. Maybe her husband was telling her, maybe you better get that. You got that coming. He tried to nip it in the butt, but the butt would not be nipped. What's he got? 11 lawsuits. The court goes in and decides who's going to get paid. Well, we'll give you this much, and you get that much, and everybody get 20% or some shit like that, child. Him losing another lawsuit don't make anything to him. You can make it $100 million. Oh, he can sell the house. You don't know how much he owes on them houses, child. Right? Apparently, the one in Florida was paid for because he was going to put it up for collateral. It has to be paid for to be collateral. But that big old thing in LA, you don't know what he owes on that place. He tried to sell it for $70 million. Then they dropped the price to $60 million. And I think it's around $55 million now, whatever. He might owe $50 million on it. And all the rest of it is going to go to the lawyers. The attorneys are getting paid, baby. You can believe that shit. Whether you get out or not, they getting paid. Their challenge now is to try to get that time down. Now, he can do 10 years. He could do 10. Well, with the Fed, he would only do He do most of it. So 9 years, that ain't that much. His music career is basically over anyway. But I'm sure he salvaged something. But when they start talking about 30 years, you can't do that. Life in prison. Mm-mm. Yeah, ain't gonna be no more Chirac. I'm a longtime fan of you, and you're a longtime fan of you and Pastor J. Wilson Reeves. He can't hang with the kid. Sometimes I say, Timothy, you can't go and boredom people again with reading J. Wilson. Shit, you done read his socks off, child. Ain't nothing else to be said, right? But when I hear that voice, the shit that boy said, this is the best way you can do with him is just don't listen at all, right? Whenever the name pass it up, honey. But she every once in a while she gonna jump her ass when them numbers are slagging like they are now. He'll figure, oh, I'm gonna go over there and fuck with him because this last round had nothing to do with him. I'm talking to Probably Bonafide, who is another enemy of his, child, right? The one who comes after his ass. So he want to jump in there and talk about, oh, because you mentioned those degrees. Oh, you jealous of her. How can you hate a person because of their degree? Nigga, that's not why people hate you, Jay Wilson. You are constantly telling us why, oh, they don't like Tracy. Oh, they don't like Shaquem. They don't, this thing, none of them people are disliked the way you are, Jay Wilson. None of them. Nobody compares. Nothing compares to you. He'll stick his head up over here when them numbers are so bad, child. Because he knows that people will tune in. Particularly when I go and knock that goddamn head against the wall again. Mm-hmm. What else is going on? This is going to usurp all the other news. So I know this pisses off Trump because now they ain't going to be talking about his ass for a day or two. And they can go ahead and talk about Mayor Adams. If that's all they done, people, I'm not impressed. Unless they can come with something else. I mean, unless they can tell us that he's been shipping money offshore or something. You know, unless he got a stable of Rolls Royces hidden somewhere. Just people donated to his campaign. It doesn't impress me at all. And I would say he shouldn't resign. You have to fight, but he'll be fighting for the rest of his term. What's he got? A year left? Our New York City mayors, is that 4 years? It's got to be a horrible job because you get so much criticism. With all these politicians, you get so much criticism. No matter how hard you work, there are going to be people who hate you just because they want somebody to hate. I live for the Reeves. Mm-hmm. I live for the Reeves too. What is Miss Kwani over there? He's fucking with that bald head boy. Grown folk TV. I still peek seeing. But I think my favorite one, as far as this stuff goes, I used to love Deanna. She don't come on so much right now. And this Rick Reed, honey, when he gets into that grown folks TV's ass, make my day. Now I can go on and get my hair cut. I can go and do things now because I heard that Reed, honey. I mean, going. You don't got to come on a lot. You have one of those, everybody flocks to see, honey. Oh. Yeah, the beef sector then turned to the what do you call it, the panel sector now. So, you know. What else is going on? Okay. Let's see. Y'all rooting for the mayor? Unless he did something worse, honey. Unless he's been bleeding the school for money or taking, I mean, he said he canceled programs, but is he doing this out of malcontent, or is he actually trying to run the city? I mean, it's a huge job, honey. 30 million people. Even if only 6 or 7 million of them live in the city, that's a lot to contain, man. So I would say don't knock the man's knees out from under him. I was sure that when they announced the charges, it was going to be something devastating to us. You talking about plane upgrades. I wouldn't even want my mayor or my governor sitting in the back of the goddamn airplane. John, please. If that's going to be the standard, then probably they're all guilty. They're not as guilty as Clarence Thomas, but they're guilty. My stop and frisk incident was in Brooklyn in a black neighborhood. The police said they had to just run my IF. Of course, it came back with nothing. The white neighborhoods don't get that. Yeah, it's true. It is. Yeah, there's a lot of blowback. But maybe they'll get the situation with the crime in New York City. You remember New York City used to be crime riddled, honey. You go there, you liable to lose your earrings and your earbobs, your watch, and everything else. Yeah. And then they cleaned it up. Who cleaned it up? Was that whatever? It's been cleaned up in recent years, but now since COVID, it seems like they're having a big problem with crime again. So, yeah, I'm sure drastic measures are being taken. Hopefully, they're not just at random stopping every black person. I would think if you're wearing your pants down around your below your booty, if you're a young person, and particularly if you're in a group of people, then you might have to deal with that indignity, assuming that you're innocent. They should, they're trained cops, know the kind of person that they're looking for. I only got, since I got out, I used to go to prison all the time, right? Jail all the time. Because I was a parolee, they could just take me to jail, right? So I was always scared of them. But since I've been clean the last 23 years, I only got stopped one time. And that was because, and I saw them following me. I thought, why are these motherfuckers following me? I was coming from the gym, minding my own business. I'm an older person, honey. And they went around the block 3 times. And then they stopped in the middle of the street. And then they came and hemmed me up. And after they see I didn't have it, I had a gym bag on me because I was coming from the gym. And they said that someone had grabbed a laptop off the front of a Starbucks at the corner. This is at, I think it was late. It was late, maybe 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And there was not a lot of people on the street. But other than that, they never bothered me. Mm-mm. You're going to get, the better chance of you getting harassed is when you're young. When you're young and you're with groups or something's happened, I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine trying to run a city like New York City. I can't imagine trying to run a city like Springfield. Less long. So we're hoping for the best for him. Apparently, there's a lot of people. Also, all these people then that have been left their jobs, that was all about campaign finance? Or that was all about the goddamn upgrades on the airline? Something else is going on in that city. Why would all the heads of all of your departments, why would they all quit just weeks ago? I don't think they would do that because you got an upgrade on the airline. For those of you who don't know what an upgrade is, that's when you're in regular plane, upgrade is first class. So they just move you from your plane ticket, upgrade you to the first class. I don't even know what the difference would be in tickets, really. It ain't like they got no damn beds up there in first class, child. Who he stayed in a nice hotel? Well, where is the mayor of New York City supposed to stay at? Your Holiday Inn? What is your requirement? Well, what's on the agenda for today? I got to go ahead. It's strange how your writing Now, y'all know my last book, The Battle, was basically about fentanyl, or a supernatural fighting fentanyl uh, sellers. But the second book is I want to get away from all that drug stuff. It makes me nauseous. But it seems like since we're so inundated with all this politics stuff, that has wormed its way into my consciousness. And now it seems to be moving towards a politician. I'm not sure I want to go into that because I don't know enough about it. I haven't followed it long enough. But we'll have to see. I know when I was writing The Epiphany, I was watching The Sopranos. I was obsessed with The Sopranos for a while. I watched it like 3 times every episode, right? And Malfi, one of the characters, ended up in my consciousness. So one of my primary characters became the psychiatrist. So we'll see. But I got to work on it, though. I want to direct it, not it direct me. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for coming in. This is a brand new story. It just came on last night, and we'll see what happens. Right? And we'll check in later. Thanks for coming in, guys.